Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to On the Mic with Metha. I'm joined by my Canadian co-host, Ilya Canella, and we are privileged to have Daniel Herrin on the show today. Daniel, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
We're great, man. Great. Thanks for being on the show. We really appreciate it.
Happy to be on board.
Ilya, how are you?
I'm doing good. A lot better than on Wednesday.
You were sick on Wednesday, right?
I can't believe I made it through that show.
Yeah, we were doing the show last week, and you were sick as a dog.
Oh yeah, I was like totally out of it.
Okay, guys. SummerSlam and NXT is 2 weeks, I believe. How are you guys feeling for first of all NXT? Ilya, you feeling good about the show?
Yeah, it should be a good show. I haven't been keeping up if they updated their card. I know they have Aleister Black and Hideo Itami.
Yeah, that should be a brilliant show. That should be. I'm really looking forward to seeing Hideo Itami in the ring. That's going to be an awesome show. And it should be a great match too. Dan, what about you?
Well, I haven't been keeping up with NXT very much, but I know for the takeovers, they always go above and beyond. So it doesn't really matter what kind of card they're going to have. You know the matches are going to be great. So if you've got Hideo going up against Aleister Black, obviously the up-and-coming talent, they're looking to make him a big star. Hideo's already an established guy, and he's going on that heel run.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a really solid matchup.
Now, I'm slightly confused because the last takeover, Chicago, Hideo Itami faced Rude for the championship, and it looked to me like that he was being positioned as a babyface against Rude. Now it seems like he's being a heel. What do you guys think?
Yeah, a lot of the past few times that I've seen him, he's been acting like more of a heel towards Cash Sono.
Yeah, that's a bit confusing to me. Dan, what about you? How are you feeling about it?
It's probably just that frustration. Oh, I didn't get the win, and came up short, and it's just frustrating for him.
Most likely. I mean, that can be a way to turn heel, but I think he was doing pretty well as a face, to be honest, because he had a great following behind him. The fans were behind him. When he returned, I think it was the biggest pop I've seen in NXT in a while. So I don't really know how to take him as a heel now, as he's positioned to be. Hopefully it'll be a good match though. Who do you guys think will walk out as winner?
For
the Hideo Itami,
I'm gonna go with Aleister Black.
Yeah, I'll say the same. Going back to what you were saying about the crowd reactions and all that, Hideo is universally loved no matter what.
Yeah.
But whenever someone gets to portray the heel, they always get to turn it up that little extra bit. And Hideo is known for his strong strikes. So whenever you're portraying the heel, you can be that ruthless. You can be that strong style that he is known for. And I think the match is going to be solid, but I'm going to go with Aleister Black.
I think that could potentially be the match of the night, as far as I'm concerned. Depending on, again, there are a lot of factors, depending on how much time they're given, depending on what kind of stuff they do in the match, and how the announcers sell it too.
And I think we're going to see a full turn at the end of the match because you have Hideo Itami who's like frustrated and stuff, and he loses his last match, and that's when he snaps and you get the full turn.
Yeah. What about arguably the most anticipated match in recent NXT history, Drew McIntyre, who returned to the company fully at NXT TakeOver Orlando? I remember I was covering the show. He's now facing Bobby Roode for the NXT Championship. What do you guys think about that?
Go ahead, Elio.
Well, last week I had said Roode, but I'm going to have to rethink that because, as you know, I was out of it, so I didn't even know what I was saying during the show. So I might have to rethink that and go with Drew McIntyre.
Daniel?
Yeah, if anybody's going to take the title off of Rude, you got to go with a well-established guy who's been around the world, done the main event style. He was previously the chosen one.
Yeah.
So you've got to find that guy who is a credible person to give the title to. Like I said, I haven't been keeping up with NXT as much, but just me personally, I think the Rude stick is running its course as far as being that good champion. So I think McIntyre will probably take it off of him.
And I think I agree with you, both of you guys, completely, because I think Bobby Roode, he should arguably be on the main roster already. But this is the perfect chance for him to drop the title to McIntyre, who arguably is the best guy to be champion at right now, and then move up to the main roster.
And he even said he wanted to have a match against John Cena at WrestleMania.
That could work. What do you think, Daniel?
I don't know. I'm sure they would put on a fine matchup for Mania, but Cena is very skilled in the ring, but I feel it depends on the opponent as far as what kind of match they're going to have. I'm not sure if Rude is, just me personally, I'm not sure if Rude has the capability to elevate each other to that strong WrestleMania match.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, because again, when you're on the WrestleMania stage, especially with someone like Cena, who has the ability to elevate people, you've got to hold your own.
Mm-hmm.
In a match of that magnitude, and we'll see if Rude can do it again. So you're not one of these people on the internet saying that Cena can't wrestle, right? You don't believe.
He absolutely can wrestle. I mean, at a certain point, you just have to stop the hate and just recognize that the dude is talented. If you're hating just to hate, that's your own prerogative. But you cannot tell me that the matches he's had with AJ Styles, with Roman Reigns, with CM Punk, with Brock Lesnar, whether it be the challenger who's quote-unquote carrying him to a solid match. No, there's two people in that ring who are putting on a performance, and he's one of them, so you got to say he's skilled in the ring. His moveset might not be flashy or what people want to see, but he is a great wrestler. And
he can have five-star matches with any number of talent on that roster. I mean, that match at the Royal Rumble with AJ Styles, I've been watching wrestling for about the good part of 15, 16 years, and I'm 21. So, that is arguably one of the best matches I've ever seen in my life, between the two of them. So, anybody that says Cena can't wrestle or Cena can't have a match with the top talent does it, quite frankly, it's just complaining for no reason.
Yeah, like I said, they're hating just to hate.
Yeah. So, he should have a worthy opponent at SummerSlam, and it looks like, judging by the way we went off the air on SmackDown, or it was actually on the WWE Network, that Cena and Baron Corbin could have a potential match at SummerSlam. Did you guys see the network 5-minute segment at the end of SmackDown on Tuesday?
I did not see that part.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. I didn't get to see it.
So what happened was Cena lost to Nakamura because they had their match. Baron Corbin, who's Mr. Money in the Bank, came out, attacked Nakamura. Cena had already left. Cena came back and put Baron Corbin through the announce table with an AA. So judging by that, it seemed like that's where they're going, is a one-on-one match between Cena and Corbin, although it hasn't been confirmed yet. What do you guys think about that match? Should it happen? If that match happens, what do you guys think?
I mean, I'd be okay with it. I'm sure they can have an okay match. I wouldn't expect too much. Corbin is up and coming. He's still a little green, but he's much improved from when he first came onto the roster. Yeah. So I think they could at least put on an okay show.
Ilya, what about you?
Yeah, but I think it should be a pretty good match. And remember, he also has that Money in Bank briefcase that he can cash in any time.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, Dan. I think Baron Corbin has greatly improved from his debut on the main roster, which I believe was the night after WrestleMania 32. Yeah, I think it was. And I think he's found his own character.
He debuted at Mania.
Oh, he won.
He won the Andre the Giant.
Yeah, excuse me. Oh, I made a mistake. He won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and that was his main roster call up, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you. I made a mistake. So yeah, he has, in my opinion at least, and you tell me what you guys think. He's found his character. He's found what he should be, in my opinion, in this company. Do you guys think he's a future world champion?
I can see him as a future world champion. He's a lot better. I like this version a lot better than his NXT version, because in NXT he didn't really have any charisma or personalities, but now he's totally improved.
Yeah, I agree with that. His NXT stance, he walked out stone-faced, no emotion, no anything. His matches were 20, 30 seconds tops.
Yeah.
He is starting to find himself, and I'm kind of bummed for the whole Talking Smack after SmackDown getting canceled, because the times he was on there, that's where he got to shine. That's where he got to show some of the character that he has. So I'm kind of disappointed that they canceled that.
And I don't get this smacking talk on Tout. I thought Tout had died out. I thought Tout was gone. I didn't know he was still around.
Tout, I don't think I've heard Tout, or I've heard WWE use Tout since 2012.
It's kind of like MySpace. It's there. It's just no one's using it.
People don't use it. People use Skype and FaceTime and things like that now. People don't use
and Periscope.
Oh, Periscope, yeah. We have the king of Periscope on here, ladies and gentlemen, Ilya Canella. So, definitely, I think Talking Smack was a great show for the network, and it allowed, just as Daniel said, allowed people to showcase their characters, to get their real life frustrations off and get that out there in the audience, as the Miz did.
I enjoy it more than Raw Talk.
Yeah, Raw Talk. I'm not saying Raw stars shouldn't have a platform to air their grievances or build their characters or whatever, but it seems like, and we talked about this on a previous show, Elio, it seems like a carbon copy of Talking Smack.
Yep.
They're trying to be, at least.
Yeah, because I don't get it. I don't get first of all, I don't get why they cancelled Talking Smack. It was arguably one of the most anticipated programs on the network, as far as I'm aware. And
I think they doomed themselves whenever they put 205 Live directly after SmackDown.
Yeah.
I understand why they did it, but I feel like, and I've talked about this many times on my podcast, that I feel like they should have put 205 Live back to back with NXT, so you could have Talking Smack after SmackDown naturally. But I understand they have the crowds there. They want to put on a 3-hour show, so they do the 2 hours of SmackDown, the 1 hour of 205 Live. But I would have put 205 first, and then do SmackDown and air the 205 Live either before or after NXT.
So you would have taped 205 Live and put that with NXT, and then just have SmackDown and Talking Smack afterwards.
Absolutely. Or you could even do, because we saw the crowd for the Cruiserweight Classic, the smaller, intimate, we know who these guys are, NXT crowd, essentially. Have a back-to-back taping with NXT and 205 Live. Let those guys tour together.
Yeah. You could almost co-brand them with each other.
Exactly.
So,
that way you can throw in some of the UK Championship guys in there as well.
Yeah, because they do that anyway. That Jack Gallagher is on 205 Live.
Pete Dunne could be on there.
Pete Dunne is, and we'll get to him in a minute. But yeah, Pete Dunne could have been on there. You know, why not have something that's successful in Talking Smack and leave it on Tuesdays and have 205 Live, like Daniel said, on a Wednesday? Doesn't make sense. So, you know, but as with 205 Live, do you guys enjoy that show? Do you watch the show on Tuesday nights?
I don't really.
I myself don't really watch it.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, you stay up for 3 hours for Raw, then you watch SmackDown for 2 hours, and then it's like, oh, well, now I have to go to the network, and it's just like, I think I'll get ready for bed instead.
Yeah.
How long is 205? That's 1 hour or two?
An hour, yeah.
Hour.
An hour?
An hour show, yeah. But see,
No, that's 6 hours of wrestling. I don't know. I could never do that.
No, it's 2 hours of SmackDown. It's 3 hours of wrestling.
Well, 3 for Raw, 3 for SmackDown, 5.
Same show, yeah. I thought you meant on the
Yeah.
same. Yeah. So 6 hours in general. But do you guys think they're missing the boat on 205 Live? Do you think there's something missing?
Absolutely.
What do you think? What do you think it is?
To be honest, it's the big crowds who don't know who these guys are, because not everyone has the network. Not everyone's going to tune into the network after SmackDown, so they're not seeing any of these characters develop. They get a 3 or 4 minute match on Raw. They get, you know, a little insert. Hey, watch as I challenge this guy right after SmackDown. But people aren't going to tune in for that. And, you know, once John Cena or AJ Styles or Shinsuke Nakamura have their matches, some of the crowds are ready to go. It's like, that's who we came to see, so we're going to head home. That's why I think the best bet would be put them alongside NXT. Have them. They could film it at Full Sail for all I care, because that crowd at least knows who the characters are. They know what they're capable of, and you would have a great 2 hour block on Wednesdays with 205 Live and NXT.
And not just that. I mean, I agree with everything you said, but not only that. If you think back to the Cruiserweight Classic, which was basically what the prelude to what 205 Live has become. They did 205 Live because of the success of the Cruiserweight Classic. And the Cruiserweight Classic, it was very, as you said, Daniel, it was very intimate. It was filmed at Full Sail. You know, there were small crowds. Everybody knew who those guys were, you know, and it was just about the wrestling. It was just about the wrestling.
Well, even that, you saw the video packages letting us know who these people are, their backstory. We don't get any of that for any of these characters now.
No. And not just that, but I think as well that they have Raw, and, you know, the Cruiserweight division is featured on Raw, which is great, but it's not enough so that everybody knows, okay, this guy is Cedric Alexander, this guy is Tony Nese. No, not everybody in that building after SmackDown knows who these guys are, and that's where the problem is.
Did you notice they didn't switch the rope colors on Monday night?
They've stopped doing that for a while now, haven't they?
Yeah, I know. I just noticed it last Monday that they stopped doing that, which is a good thing, because that just makes more work and it takes people out of the show. Like, it takes the fans out, because they came to see Raw, and then all of a sudden you switch colors to purple. And
that was to try and give it an extra special feel. Like, whenever the crowd is there, they see the crew going up, putting the purple ropes, and they go, ooh, the cruiserweights are coming up. But then they only get like a 3 minute match, change the ropes back. Okay, well, that was kind of disappointing.
Yeah. And I remember, you know, I remember seeing them do that, and I'm like, well, I agree. You know, if you're only going to have a 5, 6, 7 minute match, which everybody knows on TV is not long, right? You're going to change the ropes, do all of that, and then for only to have that match. Like, is there any point? Unless if you have them do a 15, 20 minute match, which is easily capable on Raw, because it's 3 hours. Have them do that and then change the ropes back. Why change the ropes and only have them do a 5 minute match? Doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
No. Switching gears to the women's division of both brands, we'll start with Raw. It appeared that Bayley would challenge Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship at SummerSlam. It now transpires that Bayley has injured her shoulder in a match with Nia Jax. What do you guys think about that?
Go ahead, Eli.
So now they're going with the original plan that we felt that they should have gone with, that we were talking about last week. Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss.
Because it appears, Daniel, Daniel, I cut you off. What did you think about that?
Well, if Bayley is legit injured, then it's really a bummer for that. But if it's just a work, then she did a phenomenal job of selling that shoulder.
Yeah.
I feel like the story is in Sasha Banks right now. I'm not sure how they feel backstage about her, but I feel like this is the time for her to turn heel. They've kind of teased it a few times with her backstage segments with Bayley.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they could give the title to Sasha. Bayley comes out, tries to congratulate her, and says, "Well, hey, I was the number one contender. So how about you and I give it a shot?" And that could cause Sasha Banks to begin the full turn heel.
Yeah, because her heel run in NXT just before she came up to the main roster, that was some of the best work I've seen her do.
Yep.
And Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks, from what I've heard and read from WrestlingNewsSource and other sites, they legitimately do not like each other for whatever reason.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things where we might not get along, but we're both professionals in our field, so we're gonna go out there and you're gonna see our frustration with one another, and people are gonna think, "Oh wow, they really don't like each other." Yeah, they really don't.
But it will translate into good viewing, into good matches.
Yeah,
the same way that you go on.
Take a look back at what they did with Edge and Matt Hardy during the whole Lita scandal.
I was just doing yeah.
They blurred the lines of reality.
Yeah, they had legitimate dislike and hatred for each other. We know with all the personal issues, but it translated into some of the best matches that either man had ever been in to that point.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be the same way with Sasha and Alexa.
It's one of those things where when it's organic, it comes across as organic. Yeah. Whenever they try to force stuff down our throats, like, oh, these guys are have really hatred for one another, it just comes across as they're just trying too hard.
Yeah, because I agree with you, because if you don't like somebody, and especially in that type of environment, in the sports entertainment business, it's going to come across. Real life hatred sells tickets. Real life dislike sells tickets, and it will work in the WWE environment. I don't know. I didn't understand why they just would have Sasha and Alexa go at it in the first place.
Well, that could also be a story for a later day that they were maybe trying to hold on to, or maybe this is the plan all along. They said, "Look, we got to have a reason for Sasha to get that shot and be frustrated with Bayley." It's like, dude, you beat me, but I deserve that spot. Sorry for your luck, but hey, I'm where I belong.
Yeah, and that would be, and just a point you touched on earlier, that could be the basis, the catalyst for Sasha Banks' heel turn, if they choose to go down that road. And I think that a potential triple threat could happen at a later time with Bayley, Sasha, and Alexa.
Sure.
Ilya?
Yep. I see a triple threat taking place.
Because I think quite frankly, I think there's money in all three of them. Alexa Bliss has been doing a great job when she was SmackDown Women's Champion. She was doing a great job when she won the Raw Women's Championship from Bayley at Payback. Great job, And Bayley and Sasha could both capitalize on Alexa's momentum and get in with the triple threat. Switching to Bayley now, do you think she's being misused on Raw?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know where the disconnect is from NXT to WWE, and I've gotten to talk to a few NXT stars of the past. You know, your Simon Gotch, your Sasha Banks, and it just feels like there's just a disconnect. They seem to care more about the character in NXT, and they care more about the storyline on the main roster. So when you've got someone like Bayley who's loved by the crowd, they don't know how to convey it. I don't understand where there's a disconnect.
Yeah, because in NXT she had that mean streak where like she wasn't afraid to do stuff. Where on the main roster, they're using her character, but she's being more careful. Like in the Kendo on a stick pull match, she didn't use a stick at all.
Yeah, that was a joke.
That was a big mistake, a very big mistake.
Yep.
Bayley not to have used that kendo stick when it was legal, when it was almost encouraged in the match, and for her not to even hit Alexa with it is just, I just don't understand it. I didn't get it.
Because if that match took place in NXT, she would have definitely used the kendo stick.
Yeah. I think, just to answer your earlier question, Dan, you said about the disconnect. I think Ilya just answered it. You know, with NXT, she was this huggable character, she was this lovable character, but she could, if she was put in a position where she needed to fight, she was able to fight, and the crowd loved her for it. Now it seems like she's trying to be this huggable character, but she's not fighting when she needs to. She doesn't have that viciousness in her when it needs to happen.
Yeah, hopefully that's something that they can bring out soon, because if you look back at the matches that she and Sasha Banks have had at the NXT takeovers, the last woman standing, the Brooklyn fight, you know, they have main event, you know, quality matches.
Yeah.
And deservedly so, but can you imagine like putting them on the main stage for WrestleMania?
You mean in the main event?
Not necessarily just the main event, but I mean, you know, if you tell them go out there and show the world what you've got, you know, 18 minutes to work with, show us what you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they would blow everyone out of the water.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, the NXT Brooklyn match that they had, I still go back and watch that. It was 2 years ago. I still go back and watch that on the network.
Which one was that? The first one?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a good match.
Yeah. Didn't you cover that show?
I believe I did. Yeah.
So that was an absolutely wonderful match, and the thing I remember most is this kayfabe is dead right now in this industry. We know that, right? But they went out there, they had the match. Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky Lynch were all leaving NXT. They were coming to the main roster. They went out and they hugged and they did the 4 horsewomen sign. You can't plan that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I liked that ending. That was cool to see.
How'd you feel about
four of them in the ring?
Sure, you can. You can plan that. You think they were just did that on their own? I would have to say that they were given permission to do it.
Oh, you think that was planned?
I would almost say so.
Really? Fair enough. It may have been, because, you know, Triple H might have just said, well, go, you know, you guys are leaving, go out there and do it. Whether it was or it wasn't, it was a brilliant moment. It was a great moment, and it was a great send-off.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just like the last man standing match that they had,
yeah.
It wasn't an impromptu, hey, let's go out there and congratulate them. You know, they came out with flowers and all that at the end of the match. But I would say I'm 98% sure that they had, you know, someone had said, hey, after the match, can we go out there and talk to them, and we're given the go ahead. Yeah,
I see what you mean. Definitely. Guys, we only have about 10 minutes left on the show. So one of the last things I want to touch on is last week on Raw, Paul Heyman said that Brock Lesnar's, if he doesn't retain the Universal Championship at SummerSlam, he will walk out of the company. Whether that's kayfabe or not, I believe it is, because I believe his contract doesn't end until after WrestleMania next year. Whether that's true or not, do you want him to lose the championship, or would you rather he retain?
I think I take the belt off him and give like someone like Strowman or Joe the championship.
Daniel?
I've said this for weeks. Everyone is complaining that we don't have a champion who's a full-timer, but they want a champion who's, a destructible beast of some sort. You've got two characters in Braun Strowman and Samoa Joe who are credible threats, who are full-time guys. I feel like you put the belt on either one of those guys, and you've got a very solid heel, although Braun Strowman's starting to become a babyface just through his destructive nature. It's getting over the crowd. But, I mean, you can, in all seriousness, any person in that Fatal 4-Way who wins, it's a believable champion. Even Roman Reigns. I know as much as people are going to hate on it, he is a credible guy.
Now, I see Roman Reigns is the same as John Cena. People just hate to hate.
Yeah.
I don't understand all this hate for Roman Reigns.
Well, it goes back to the Royal Rumble thing. It was everyone was expecting it to be Daniel Bryan's year. It was not. They went with Roman Reigns instead, and so that's where they turned. They said, "Oh, well, obviously this is your choice, and we're going to reject it." It had nothing to do with Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
He was, and this happened. I discussed this years before this moment, where I said, once the Shield breaks up, Roman Reigns is going to be a good guy. Like he's got that build, he's got the look. He's someone that they can build the company around. Unfortunately, things didn't pan out the way that I'm sure he had hoped, but he's still going to be one of the top guys.
Definitely, he has all the tools, all the credentials to be the top guy. But for whatever reason, it didn't work at that time, and the fans just haven't let go of it.
Yeah.
To this day, so it's not going to work.
Yep.
Unless he turns full-blown heel.
Well, what would justify being a heel, in your opinion?
Me? You're asking Elio, or you're asking?
Either one of y'all. What justifies Roman turning a heel? Because he's already being booed. He's already one of the most hated guys on the roster.
Well, he's pretty much already is a heel because he can't win either way, no matter what he does.
Yeah,
and they're still gonna boo him.
I would say similar to as much as people compare him to John Cena, you could also compare him slightly in the opposite way of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin was a bad guy who was a good guy in the eyes of the crowd. Roman Reigns is a good guy, but he's a bad guy for the crowd.
I think I stand corrected because at WrestleMania, the night after WrestleMania, when he retired The Undertaker, although we knew probably he was retiring after that anyway, regardless of who he was in the ring with, he went out and didn't say one word for a good 9 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! Right, and that crowd let him have it. Oh
my gosh! I've never seen one talent get that much heat in a 10-minute segment. Literally, I've never seen that before. They were chanting, "F you, Roman, go away," and then Roman just went out there, one-line promo, and said, "This is my yard," and the place went crazy.
I was laughing so hard whenever he did that too. I thought it was great. The fact that he even held out his hand, he was like, "I've got you in the palm of my hand. Yeah. You're doing exactly what I want you to do."
Yeah. So it's just he right now needs to continue what he's doing. But in my opinion, you asked me, Daniel, what would make him a full-blown heel? Start taking unfair advantages. Start using the 5 count. Start, cheating when the referee's not looking. That kind of things,
But do you feel that would have the Braun Strowman effect, where the crowd starts turning back in favor of him? Would that really make him a heel?
It depends. It depends on how it happens. It depends on the opponent he's in the ring with.
Mhm.
There's a lot of factors, but that's really what is missing, in my opinion, for Reigns right now. That's
Yeah.
being a heel. So, hopefully he figures it out. He figures the missing link out in his character, and hopefully he makes it work for him, just like The Rock did. So who knows? Okay, unfortunately, guys, we're out of time. Daniel, I want to thank you for being on the show. Elio, you're great as always, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon and having you on the show soon.
Yeah,
All
man.
right.
Thanks for having me.
This has been on
Good talking to you, Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were saying?
I was just saying thanks for having me, man. It was an honor.
No problem, man. We'd like to have you again soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. You up for that?
Sure.
Cool. Elio, thanks as always. You've been great.
All right.
Couldn't do this with anybody. All right. See you guys soon.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
All right. Bye.